Hi, I'm Will Pfitzner, and I am the 2012 through 2016 General H.U. Shelton National Leadership Scholar. I was prompted to apply for the Scholars Program because it wasn't necessarily all about academic scholarship. It was about leadership, character, service, and when I think back to my fondest memories in high school, they all revolved around somehow service leadership, whether I was making some sort of positive change in sports, clubs, community activities. And I knew that when I went to college, I wanted to be involved in more of that. And I felt like the Scholars Program would allow me to take what I learned in the classroom and actually apply it in communities to drive that positive change. When I look back at my experience with the Shelton Scholarship Program, I really think back to not asking anyone to do something that I would not do myself. General Shelton absolutely exhibited this, and these traits were passed down in the scholarship program. He jumped out of airplanes. Then he led the entire U.S. military. That man, if he hadn't already done it himself, he was absolutely willing to. And when we think about what I've had to do in business and at Laser Edge, that's absolutely the quality trait that I've taken into effect. One example is purchasing a sander. When I was in the garage, we would sand all of our wood products with this palm sander. It fit in the palm of your hand and it oscillated and vibrated while you were sanding the products. I would sand for upwards of 8 hours a day, and I knew that I couldn't ask anyone to do that. I would go to bed and my hands and my body would be vibrating because it was so hard on my body. So what we had to do was invest in this high-end sander in order to make that better for our team. Oftentimes, leadership can be perceived as spreadsheets, charts, statistics. General Shelton made it very clear that leadership is about people and individual decisions, and how those people and those individual decisions ultimately are the things that impact that positive change that we're all after. One thing that I will always remember is the interactions with General Shelton, and honestly every individual in the organization. It's about doing the hard right over the easy wrong. And the reason that's so crucial is not only in the community but also in business is that it can be easy to take those shortcuts, but in the long run those shortcuts aren't good for us, they're not good for our community. So always do the right thing. It's funny, the congruency between the Shelton Leadership Center, my journey, entrepreneurship. So the Shelton Leadership Center introduced me to failures along the way. And when I mean failures, I mean things that didn't work out for me. I used to think that I wanted to be in a research lab doing biomedical engineering. The Shelton program and the connections gave me the opportunity to do that. And I did a great job, but I realized that wasn't my passion. Around that time, the Shelton Leadership Center just somehow introduced me to the world of entrepreneurship. And I entered the entrepreneurial village where I was introduced to laser cutting, which I found to invigorate my soul and show me that I wanted to be in this world of entrepreneurship and producing a product and trying to get that product into somewhere like the NC State bookstore. So I think that congruency along the journey and the skills that I was able to obtain, they worked hand in hand to get Laser Edge to where we are today, to being one of the top producing wood manufacturers in America. So I'll give you 3 service projects that I was able to take part in a significant way and the impacts that it had. First off, Honduras. So we led sustainable agriculture and some sustainable projects there. When you go into a community, what I learned is that you must first listen. It's very easy to go into a community or a situation and have ideas and want to share those ideas right away, but the best thing you can do is listen, take note, gain the trust, and then find a way to invoke that positive change. The second one is Raleigh. We worked with a community outreach center in the Raleigh area. When they were providing their services, community members would wait in an open asphalt parking lot. So what we did is Shelton Scholars and we took a day out of our time, we took donated pallets and we transformed that empty asphalt parking lot into a community garden so that when these community members were waiting online for their services, not only were they waiting in a garden, but also when they obtained services like food, they were able to have a nice bench to sit down on right next to some flowers that were blooming. That showed a positive impact. One little thing that you do in a community can really have a lasting impact. Also, when we were building those benches, we weren't just building them by ourselves. Members who were obtaining those services suddenly jumped in to help us build those benches. So it's not about working above others, it's about working with others. The last one I'll give you is Mount Airy. We did an alleyway project. When we were doing this alleyway project, it was a revitalization of downtown. This one was personal to me. And what I learned is that service isn't about what you do, it's part of who you are. I'll give you 3 ways that the Shelton Leadership Center helped me in that way. Number 1 is it gave me the confidence. We spoke about how even if you don't know the right answer to something, even though you don't know the complete picture, even though the opportunities and the stars aren't completely aligned, you have to take the first step. You got to take the first step and just keep taking those steps, one right decision at a time, and you'll eventually get there. Number 2 is reps. Any entrepreneur will tell you that success did not happen overnight. It's about the reps and all the fail forwards. Shelton Leadership Center gave me 4 years of leadership training so that whenever I got into this world of entrepreneurship, I felt like I was a seasoned leader compared to peers and other business owners. So I really felt like that gave me a leg up. Number 3 is the Shelton program, which I believe is the most important, gave me the grounding into why I lead. It gave me the purpose of leading, and it made me know that service is within me, and service is what makes me who I am.